everyone, welcome to my channel, Bounded and Bookmarked. Yes, that is a brand new channel name. I have rebranded my channel because I wanted a very bookish type of name, and the name Julissa is no more, although my name is still Julissa, but we're doing new things in 2021, so yes. I hope you guys like it. In today's video, I'm doing my January TBR, but if you're not already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to do so below. I will also have my Instagram and my Twitter link below in the description box. I was going to initially read all the books that I got for Christmas, but then I decided not to do that because I have some things that I want to do. So the first book on my January TBR is Relentless by Karen Lynch. This is a YA paranormal romance book, which you guys know I love paranormal romances. This book follows Sarah Gray, who at the age of 7 witnessed her father being murdered, and so she has so many questions now at the age of 17. At 17, she actually immerses herself into this supernatural world, and she finds out that she has a very powerful gift in and of itself. Sarah ventures out to find answers regarding her father's murder, and while she ventures out on this journey, she runs into this guy Nicholas, who is a warrior who will assist her in finding these answers. However, there's a sadistic vampire that's out on the loose that has set his sights on Sarah. So on this journey, Sarah puts her family and her friends at risk of danger, and Nicholas is set on protecting her no matter what, even though she's very independent and doesn't want his protection. In the end, Sarah's going to learn all about her ancestry, where she comes from, about her gifts. So the next book on my list is one that I am really excited for. It just came out on January 5th, and of course it is going to give me the feelings that I had when I read Money's Not Coming, I'm pretty sure. This book is When They Look Like Us by Pamela Harris. This is her debut novel, and it's a contemporary that follows this boy Jay Murphy, whose little sister Nick has just gone missing, and it is basically a book that is following Jay looking for his sister and doing all the things that police departments don't do when black kids go missing, when kids who look like me go missing. And I am just ready for this book to be just touching, moving, powerful, because anything that's written along the lines of Tiffany D. Jackson, Jason Reynolds, I just know is going to be hard hitting. Again, I think this book will hit on topics that are so important in our world, because kids with brown skin, you know, we are often overlooked and often not taken seriously, and so I'm just really excited to read this book because I hope that I can take away some things and bring it to you all that you can learn about, because this is a real thing that happens. So the next book on my list is The Last Samsara by Kristen Cicerelli. I think that's how you say her last name. In The Last Samsara, you are thrust into the world of Furgard, where dragons fly around and you have dragon slayers, and it sounds really exciting. And in this world you have Namsaras and you have Ascari. The Namsara is child of sky and spirit. It embodies love and light and all things good, but of course when you have good you have bad. The Ascari is child of blood and moonlight, and so Asha is actually next in line to become the Ascari, which is the Deathbringer, the destroyer. But Asha is engaged to this very cruel commandant who actually is the only one in Furgard who knows the true nature of her abilities, and so in order to gain her freedom, Asha is set out to kill the most powerful dragon in Furgard, and she becomes one of the fiercest dragon slayers in the land. She will be joined by one of the slave boys in the commandant's household, and so in the end, Asha is going to have to work towards getting rid of the bond that she has with the Ascari so that she can let in love and light into her life. So the next book on my TBR is actually a physical book that I have that I've already started briefly, and that is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and it is set in 1926 Shanghai, which is super cool, so kind of historical fiction aspect to it, but this book follows Juliet and Roma. Juliet is the heir to the Scarlet Gang, whereas Roma is the heir to the White Flowers, two rival gangs in Shanghai. In this book, there is a monster that's wreaking havoc on Shanghai. This monster will force both the Scarlet Gang as well as the White Flowers to work together to protect Shanghai, its people, its culture, everything. We all know how Romeo and Juliet end, like the play, so I'm not sure how this book's gonna end. I know this is a series, so I'm not sure, but this is very exciting. People have been loving this book since it came out, and so I'm ready to read it. I'm excited. The next book that I'm reading this month is a book that's been on my TBR twice now, maybe once, I'm not sure. I want to read it, I want to finish it. I've already started this book and I DNF'd it softly. I can't remember why. The next book is Seasons of the Storm by El Casimino. This book is one of the more interesting YA fantasy books that I have ever laid my eyes on. Aside from the beautiful cover, this book follows Fleur and Jack, and these two represent spring and winter. And so in this book, you have this lady, this woman, I can't remember her name. She is the one who oversees all the seasons, and so each person in this book represents a season of the year. Jack is winter and Fleur is spring, and in this book, each season has to kill the season that comes before it. So for example, Jack has to kill Fleur every season so that spring can begin and so that winter can end. However, Jack and Fleur fall in love, so Jack and Fleur are going to work together along with a few other people in the book who are going to work to take down the creator of the season so that they can be together. This concept is super cool to me. Why I had never finished it, I don't know. I think I just got into reading adult fantasies and then I just kind of stopped reading YA fantasies for a little bit, but I'm going to finish this book because I think it'll be very good, and I think that if it is good, I'm definitely going to recommend this book because I think it's different than most fantasies out there. So I'm hoping that this book will be good and that I'll enjoy it. The next book on this list is Lore TBR by Alexandra Bracken. This novel just came out this month and I'm super excited for it. I actually wasn't gonna read it in January, but my friends want to do a buddy read, so here we are. And I'm gonna read the description for you guys. What I know about lore is that this book is a Greek mythology inspired novel and it's YA. It's a standalone fantasy, and listen, I'm always trying to find standalone fantasies because even though I do love a good series, sometimes a super long one can be very intimidating, and I prefer to read trilogies, duologies, standalones, and so this is a standalone, so that's perfect for me. So I'm gonna read the synopsis from Goodreads. Every 7 years, the Agon begins. As punishment for a past rebellion, 9 Greek gods are forced to walk the earth as mortals, hunted by the descendants of ancient bloodlines, all eager to kill a god and seize their divine power and immortality. Long ago, Lord Perseus fled the brutal world in the wake of her family's sadistic murder by a rival line, turning her back on the hunt's promises of eternal glory. For years, she's pushed away any thought of revenge against the man, now a god, responsible for their deaths. Yet, as the next hunt dawns over New York City, 2 participants seek out her help. Castor, a childhood friend of Lore believed long dead, and a gravely wounded Athena, among the last of the original god. The goddess offers an alliance against their mutual enemy and, at last, a way for Lore to leave the Agon behind forever. But Lore's decision to bind her fate to Athena's and rejoin the hunt will come at a deadly cost, and still may not be enough to stop the rise of a new god with the power to bring humanity to its knees. So, sounds super intriguing. It sounds like it'll be fast-paced, adventurous. I love Greek mythology. I was going to possibly read Percy Jackson Lightning Thief this month. I don't know if I'll get to it, but I might. I will definitely try. The next book on this list is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. This novella just follows Feyre and the rest of the Night Court after the war, and I believe in this book that there is the winter solstice, so the celebration that they celebrate every year. You know, I've missed Rhysand and the gang, and so I'm ready to see them again in this little novella. And I'm also reading this book as preparation for the new book to come out in March, I believe. So I'm excited. It's very short, so it'll be a quick little read. So the next book on my list is a romance, and that book is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. In this book, we follow Olive and Ethan, as well as Amy. Amy is Olive's sister who's getting married. Unfortunately for Amy and her wedding party, they come down with food poisoning, and so Amy and her fiance were supposed to be going to Maui for their honeymoon. However, because they can't go, Ethan decides to go. However, Olive doesn't want Ethan to have all the fun to himself, so she accompanies him to Maui. But the funny part is that they are not friends, they're enemies, and they cannot stand one another, and so they spend 10 days together on this Maui, honeymoon resort place. This is enemies of lovers, so I'm excited for this. I've heard the banter is super great. I've heard it's cute, and I heard that it's funny, and so I'm ready to laugh. I don't really laugh that much in books, not really, so if it makes me laugh, I think it's a winner, so we'll see. The next book I'm going to be reading this month as a buddy read with Mel, Christine, and Kristen. I will have all their channels linked below in the description box. That book that we're reading together is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and I'm going to read the synopsis for this book because yes. So it says, under the Martial Empire, defiance is met with death. Leia and her family do not challenge the Empire. They've seen what happens to those who do. But when Leia's brother is arrested for treason, she is forced to make a decision. In exchange for help from rebels who promise to rescue her brother, she will risk her life to spy for them from within the Empire's greatest military academy. There, Leia meets Elias, the school's finest soldier, and secretly is most unwilling. He and Leia will soon realize that their destinies are intertwined and that their choices will change the fate of the Empire itself. So it sounds like she's going to be taking down the Empire from within, and that sounds really nice. I believe there's a romance in this book as well, but if you are wanting to join us in a buddy read, let me know in the comments below. I know a few people from our live streams have been wanting to read this with us, so I'm excited for this. The last 3 books on this list are books that will be a part of a series that I will be starting on my channel in January. This series will include books that were coming out in the early 2000s, 2010s. Pretty much it's going to be just me reviewing and vlogging books that you guys have already read and loved. For example, books like The Mortal Instruments, which are the next 3 books on my list. And then you have the Maze Runner series, the Divergent series, the Hunger Games, all books that people have already read that I have never read. And so I'm going to read those books and just talk about them and my experience with the books and if I like them or not, compared to the movies as well, because I've seen all of those movies but I've never read them. And I'm excited because many of you voted on my Twitter page that you guys would want me to do this, kind of like a throwback series, so I'm gonna do that. So with that being said, the next 3 books on this list and the last 3 books are going to be City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. I just finished The Infernal Devices and I have some things to say about that, so that video will be going up very soon. I know the story follows Clary and Jace. That's all I know about these books. I don't want to read the synopsis because I don't want to spoil the series for me. I want to go in completely blind to these 3 books, to the whole series actually. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys have your TBRs ready to go. I hope that you're accomplishing them. And so in January, we're gonna knock out our TBR and be successful with that. And so I will see y'all in my next video. See you later.